All right, we continue Severance with season 2, episode 3. Last time was pretty insane. A lot of stuff happened in the previous episode. Most of our characters were fired and then rehired again because Mark demands it and the board kind of gives in to Mark's demands. Cold Harbor, whatever that is. I mean, I've talked a little bit about it, but at this point, we're still kind of in the dark about it. Devin, kind of the goat for being, the only person here who has a sense of mind in regards to Gemma and what Mark is actually, talking about. Even Mark, who doesn't believe in himself, in the sense that he doesn't want to believe that Gemma's alive, whereas Devin's like, no, I'm pretty sure Gemma is alive after what happened, the night before. Like, good on her. But I'm also worried about her because if, Lumen knows about this. So, they can silence her, if you know what I mean. That's the part that I am worried about. You know what else that I'm worried about? Helly. Or Helena. Whoever she is, actually, at this point. Because that is also a thing that I talked about in like my episode 1 reaction for season 2. The idea that Helly could slowly turn into Helena and vice versa, which is again like I feel like is the conclusion or like the way to go for these characters, like Mark S and any Mark and Audi Mark would soon just become Mark. What are the implications for Helly in the sense that the good person, the good Helly that we know combines with like the evil corporate manifestation of Helena, like what's that gonna happen? Like, what is that going to produce? Like, who is she going to become? I guess we shall see. Well, a lot of stuff. Oh, I'm Irving. I completely forgot about Irving for some reason. Lies to Milchick. My innie got the info or whatever he was calling. We don't know who he was calling to. I have suspicions, but we don't know who he was calling to. You know who else has suspicions? Bert. What is he doing? What is he doing? What does he know that we do not know? Well, anyways, Severance season 2 has been really fun. It's been really, really great. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and I cannot wait to see more. Oh, beautiful opening shot here. Oh, wow. That's very beautiful. I love how the camera was focusing on her. It has a shallow depth of field there during that shot. It almost makes the car feel like a miniature. I'm glad that now we are just showing her. We're basically showing like every picture, every photo that we have of her on Marx's house. That's great. After a full season of just obscuring her. Oh, look at this camera work. This editing. Very snappy, I love it. Matches with the song as well. I like it, it's very different. It's very different from everything that we've seen before. Oh, beautiful. Here I go again, gushing about Severance's cinematography.
36.
Counting how many seconds it takes. Okay. I just love the visuals of this opening, by the way. I don't think I haven't talked about it that much. But again, like it's Mark diving deeper into his own psyche, into his own mind. Lots of connotations in that regard. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a deep analysis of like what's the usual like the the ego and the super ego and whatever.
Okay, me and Helly will find the goat man and other possible goat people.
Yeah, maybe later.
Okay, this is kind of important, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm in a good groove here, but don't worry about it. I'll get to it.
O&D.
Yes. Earth. You can do this.
You can do it, Irving. Come on.
You haven't been back there, have you?
No.
We got you.
Thank you, Helly.
Hmm.
Are you sure you're okay helping me out with this?
Yeah, of course.
I like it. She's pushed against the wall. Pushed to a corner, specifically. And Mark's in the way. No, I mean, what are we doing here? Ah! Conflicts of interest. Why are you getting closer? What are you doing? Ah. It's like, what do you do? Because like they obviously love each other, but at the same time, it's like
Dylan.
I thought you were going to O&D.
ooh.
Dylan. I've recreated the paintings. The ones I told you about.
Okay.
My Audi was working on.
Okay. Okay.
We could look for it, Dylan. We could go today. You could accompany me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can't really explain it.
This one. Hall pass.
I don't know why that's so funny. He's talking to a child. Hall pass.
Come with me, please.
Oh no. Oh wait a minute. This could be about like the family thing.
Good morning, Seth.
Natalie.
The board is jubilant at your ascendance. It wants you to feel appreciated and asks if you do.
Ascendance. Deliberate choice of word there. Ascendance.
Please accept from the board these inclusively recanonicalized paintings intended to help you see yourself in Kier.
Inclusively recanonicalized. What a sentence. What a shot. This has got to be racist. Come on.
Oh my.
You'll find the whole Kier cycle.
Oh my
The board
god.
wishes to express that I, Natalie, received this same gift upon receipt of my current position and found it extremely moving.
It's meaningful to see myself reflected in.
Corporate inclusivity is a thing, by the way. This is like the most extreme version of that. I forgot the exact name or term of it. I don't think it's exactly corporate inclusivity. It's like corporate pandering or corporate maybe it is corporate inclusivity. I don't know. I gotta look it up again. That is a wild scene, by the way. Oh, she brought that with her. Whoa, that's beautiful. She is turning back. I'm rooting for her, actually. I'm rooting for her. Do what you gotta do, Cobell. Okay. No goats to be found.
Whoa.
Well, that's new. Is it like a full-on, like, farm? Like it's a big exterior within an interior? If that makes sense. Kind of. Ooh. We got a black sheep. Black goat. Oh, that is a person. I was fooled.
Sorry, hi, I'm Mark,
I'm Helly.
and we're with Macro Data Refinement. What is this place?
Mammalian's nurturable.
Okay.
Irving?
Felicia, hello.
Oh. That was sweet.
Are you sure you don't know her?
Maybe you should take that page of paper and be on your way.
Not until you've answered my question.
Oh. Oh. Okay then.
I don't mean to impugn. It's just like, are you okay? You know?
Are you
They're not, like,
okay?
forcing you to be here, are they?
Are you being put here by force? Is she gonna show Dylan like what Mark and Helly is up to? Or is it gonna be like related to the family stuff? Might be the family stuff. With the way the music's playing. Oh. Who's that? Who's that?
Dylan,
Hi.
you've earned an 18-minute visitation event with your Audi's wife, Gretchen G.
I don't know if that's his actual wife, though. We've never seen her. We've heard her. Unless there was a photo of her and I missed it or forgot about it from the last episode.
Nice sack.
Sorry?
You're...
The bag.
Oh, thanks.
Nice sack.
Please refrain from sharing information that may be privileged or sensitive. Thank you. Okay, who is that child?
Okay, I believe that she is his wife.
We have 3 kids.
Okay, so
Right.
Milchick wasn't lying.
My husband has had trouble keeping other jobs.
He dumb?
What
He a dick?
No,
What is wrong with him?
is wrong with me? Wow.
he never quite found his thing.
Never quite found his thing. Never found who he is. His identity. You know, in a sense.
So Jim is 6. He's in the 1st grade now. And Ruth is 4.
And we live on a cattle ranch?
You gotta explain that that is just a set photo.
You don't come to my department and tell me how to print a snow globe.
Wow, look at these two bonding.
I'd draw one every day I couldn't see him. My numbers went down, but I didn't even care.
Wow. You know what this is?
Oh no, that's not Bert.
Does she know? Does she know? She knows.
How do you know about the exports hall?
The exports hall.
I'm sorry?
Do tell me more.
We send a lot of shipments there.
Cold Harbor. Okay, okay, there is a connection.
They send a guy.
Just a guy.
Do you remember where it is?
Ooh. Ooh. But what I was trying to say earlier before was that that was a sign that Irving's like Audi, you know, his talents are like the same, you know.
If one of your goats went missing, wouldn't you go looking for it?
He makes a good point.
She used to come do her
Oh, wow, that
sessions in
got
our
to her.
husbandry tanks. As far as we know, she was retired just like they say. But if you suspect otherwise, we won't hinder your search.
Okay. We got potential allies now.
But before you go, we would like to see your bellies.
What? Okay. Oh, is it because they saw like a painting or something and
See? Pouchless.
they painted MDR like kangaroos or something? What's going on here? Lumen and trying to divide the, you know, their employees here. So much for inclusivity.
I love you.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, it's.
Wow. The way he was trying to figure out like the words to say there. It hurts. Wow. Oh, that last look back from her.
So remember Merrick's ear thing? Okay.
Copy that.
Left ear.
Yep.
And did you do the cookies for Jim's class?
Hey, how was the thing?
What thing?
The thing with me?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll see you in the morning.
Wow, two different reactions from two different Dylans there.
Indeed, only wine can achieve this, but it is famously costly, which is why sadness is among the most recurrent issues facing the poor.
Why is she here?
Remarkable.
I mean, I know why she's here, but why?
This is Natalie Kalin from Lumen.
Is everything okay?
Let's go, Devin.
Natalie wants to discuss a version of the UUR specifically for innies.
Yikes.
There's a certain verbiage to which innies respond more favorably if we just tweak it here and there.
They think that it could be a real game changer.
Censorship.
Rickon.
Yep, his book.
What?
I guess you and your work friends were so inspired by it.
Oh, Jesus
Yep,
Christ.
they want to do like an any specific cut.
Wow, okay.
Fuck, I gotta skedaddle. Will you be careful, please?
Yeah.
Devin, you be careful.
I do love you.
I mean, I like that they have become closer, but, you know, worried for Devin's like safety here. Blue eyes, I just noticed that. Yeah, put it away. I mean, this is a pretty, I would say a pretty genius way to send a message. If it works. Gotta burn it to your retinas for like a good chunk. Yo. Had a feeling it was gonna be Miss Cobell that was there.
If you want me back, you must accommodate my needs.
Okay.
MDR, non-negotiable.
Okay.
Marcus is so close to completing Cold Harbor. I intend to finish the work that I started.
That she started. Okay. That answers some of my questions in regards to like why
I
she
must be
wants
floor manager.
to be floor manager.
I think you've overestimated your contributions and underestimated your blessings. We didn't have to ask you back.
I think she
I
knows.
didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Why don't we reset? It doesn't have to be this way.
How much does reset encapsulates in this regard?
Let's go speak with them together.
Putting her on the spot. But this is what Miss Cobell wanted, though, from like the first season, right? Like an actual one-to-one audience with the board. I mean, this may not be like a direct one-to-one conversation because they're still like on the other side of like a radio or whatever. But no intermediaries. What is it? Does she think that this could be a trap? Whoa! Harmony Cobell. Harmony Cobell does not know what she wants.
Jesus Christ!
Are you trying to burn a message to your innie into your retinas?
Yes.
Because your computer told you that was a brilliant idea?
Yes. How does Ragabi know that we are here?
Okay,
also,
thank you.
you could blind yourself.
Thanks.
And how was the innie going to send you a message back?
That's his problem. I don't know.
I mean, that is a good question.
Did he tell her your wife is alive at Lumen?
Who told you that? Is she?
She was the last time I saw her.
Ooh. Ah. A lot to take in.
There is one way and one way only to get information in and out of Lumen. And that's reintegration.
Yes, do it.
No hesitation there.
You sure? Delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. One frequency, 2 waves per oscilloscope.
Okay. Oh wow.
What the fuck?
That's the same sound effect that they used in the opening. The
Okay, so
We started. Who am I?
Saul Ragabi.
Where are we? Name a dam.
Hoover.
Wow. The way
What
this
does MDR stand for?
What?
MDR. Where were you born?
Whoa.
Tell me your first memory.
Hey there. You on the table. I wonder if you'd mind taking a brief survey.
Wow. Oh. The white background for the end credits as we have reintegrated. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Reintegration. it is happening. Um, what does this mean for Mark as a character, though? But first of all, I do enjoy how the idea of reintegration or the feeling of reintegration was pretty much shown to us in the first opening of the show, the first opening credits. That's incredible. I really love that. The way the scenes jumping back and forth from innie Mark and outie Mark. I mean, we kind of see that with Petey, but it's a completely different experience when we're seeing it happening to Mark, if that makes sense, And of course, as I mentioned, like the sound effect, the every time an episode starts, it's always that sound effect that transitions from the opening to the actual show. To hear it I guess we kind of heard when Petey was going back and forth in like the first season. Never mind. But that was a great scene. It is a great final scene to end this episode, calling back to the very beginning of the show. But look, I'm trying to think about like what I want to say in regards to this episode. The thing that is on my mind is the paintings. it's those goddamn paintings. I can't get it out of my mind. So let's talk about that first and foremost. Let's dive deeper into that because I cannot concentrate on anything else at the moment. That is an insane scene, by the way. Insane. The whole inclusive or recanicalize whatever mumbo jumbo that Natalie said to Seth, to Milchick there. And then it's just the Egan paintings. But redrawn with black people. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, we know what Milchick feels about this. Let's be real here. They showed Milchick, Milchick hates that. That is obvious. He hates that shit. If he loved it, he would have hanged it on the walls. But he did not. He put that on like the top shelf of of storage or whatever, never to be seen again. And he made sure that it is not protruding out. The way he was putting it first, but then he realizes, like it was pointing, it was put there kind of like vertically. So, or not vertically, but like it was protruding out, right? So he had to move it around so it's like hidden or subtly tucked away in the back because he does not want to see it again, because like how do you feel about that? It's insane. It is an insane thing to do for Lumen. I mentioned corporate inclusivity, but I want to make sure what I was actually trying to say. Give me a sec. Okay, so I was thinking about rainbow capitalism, which refers to the LGBTQ community, but corporate social political activism fits better with what just happened in the episode, right? But like the whole idea of both of these remain the same in that I just experience a corporate entity trying to be inclusive, but they're doing it in like the most insane way possible because they don't know how to be inclusive in the first place. Because it is a critique of this kind, right? It is a critique of social political activism by a corporate entity. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that is inherently bad, but it's like, it's critiquing when they're doing it because they want, it's the critique between doing it because they actually care and doing it because they just want to uphold a certain reputation, because it walks a fine line in my opinion, and it makes its stance pretty clear, because it's not trying to say that inclusivity within the workplace is like a bad thing, because like it's not, but it is trying to tell you that sometimes in the capitalistic world that we live in today, when a corporation says we care about you, they don't. Sometimes they don't really care about you. They just want to look like they are, with you, but they're not. Don't get swept up by their propaganda. And I'm kind of glad that Milchick took offense by this, because one, they are revising history by portraying the Egans in this manner, which is also, is that not a desecration of the Egans themselves? What were the board thinking? Like, does this not? I mean, this just basically tells you, like, what their quote unquote faiths really are. If we're gonna tie this back into like the religious aspect of the show and what it is trying to critique at the same time. What were the rules again specifically? I don't remember, but like, do not desecrate my creations or whatever. Let's just make one of the whitest people in our in our show's lore. Let's just make him black. Let's just do blackface. What were they doing? And Natalie's like, yeah, isn't this nice? Natalie's like all smiling and happy about it. Like, she was basically saying like, yeah, after this, they also sent it to me or whatever, and I was also really happy about it. Which also makes me question, like, is Natalie telling the truth, or is she just doing it because that is what the board is paying her to do? Or is she too brainwashed she's too lost in the sauce. She does not remember who she is anymore. But yeah, this is like the show building up to Milchick's inevitable, I guess, falling off from Lumen, but I'm not sure yet, because this is like a huge test for Milchick as well, because this is a test of loyalty at the same time. Because from like the very beginning of this season, Milchick has been, he got what he wanted, right? He got the position. He ascended, as this episode kind of said. But at the same time, he's running into many issues, like he does not feel like he is actually in control. His request of the computer changing from from Harmony and from Miss Cobell to his name hasn't been granted yet. So many like obstacles in Milchick's path, which that just makes me wonder, like, how far is Milchick gonna go just to keep this position, right? Like, how far is he gonna go? Is he just gonna let Lumen, throw whatever they have at him, abuse him in any way, shape, or form, both physically and mentally, perhaps? Because mentally speaking, I don't know what is on Milchick's mind right now, because he just saw like one of the most racist thing imaginable happen in front of his eyes. But he can't really say anything about it, because that would lose, it would make him lose his job. I cannot wait to see. Well, actually, no, I don't actually want to see or hear online discourse in regards to this episode. I am actually kind of scared. I don't want people coming in and say, no, actually, what Lumen is doing is actually pretty inclusive. Like, no, shut up. That is not how it works. Do not confuse actual inclusivity with whatever this shit. This is capitalist inclusivity, which is like evil inclusivity. Anyways, speaking of the changing image of a character, this episode focuses a lot on identity. We saw it in Mark, we saw it in Cobell, Milchick, Dylan. This episode is filled to the brim with identity crisis, if anything, right? Because all of these characters, they don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. Who are you? The question of the whole show, right? Who are you? Having the episode going, we focus back and forth with Miss Cobell, right? With Harmony here. Every now and again, we cut back to her as she's like contemplating on like her decision. And it follows through from the previous episode, right? Like, does she want this job? Does she not want this job? Like this new position as like a board, what was it? Like a board advisor or whatever? And she kept going and going and going and going as far as she could. But then eventually she turns back because she has a change of mind. She meets with Helly. She talks to, not Helly, Helena. She talks to Helena, kind of having this like face off against like, okay, who has the biggest dick here? Well, what are you gonna do, huh? I want to talk to the manager. And Helena's like, okay, you want to talk to the board? Let's talk to the board. And then Miss Cobell's like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then she walks back. Like, there's a lot of implications. I'm glad that they didn't tell us directly, like, why Miss Cobell decided to leave. Because at first I thought, well, maybe in Miss Cobell's mind, this could be a trap. I don't know. Lumen, the evil corporation that we are, being presented here, a corporation that has cut Miss Cobell before in the past, right? He has been fired by them. And they brought Miss Cobell back not because they want Miss Cobell, but because they don't. Because of the opposite, actually, they don't want Miss Cobell to go out and do whatever she wants, right? Because of this whole, because of the whole scandal of like the Lumen employees being able to, switch back and talk to people on the outside and whatever, right? They're scared of Miss Cobell, obviously, because of the power that she holds. So what do? Well, they try their best to keep Miss Cobell in their, in the palm of their hands, right? She is still their puppet at the end of the day. And she is a puppet that is trying to escape. But she does not know who she is. She does not know what she wants. Who are you, Harmony? Who are you, really? And she brought like the, I don't know what it's, I forgot what it's actually called in English, but like the tag that has Charlotte in it. She brought that with her, right? Obviously, there is a strong connection to that on, I'm just gonna guess, like her mother, or a relative at the very least, right? But like, what do you want, Miss Cobell? You asked for an audience with the board in the last season. Now you are getting it, but she got chicken feet, cold feet. Is it chicken feet or cold feet? I think it's cold feet. Why did I say chicken feet? I don't think that's the right term. It's cold feet. Apologize. English is my second language. But Miss Cobell, at like the point of where we are giving you what you want, Helena is giving you what you want. Miss Cobell says, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna turn around and walk away." And walk away she does. And I was like, this is incredible. I love that for her. The fact that she is having this like internal battle is just perfect because it mirrors directly with all of the other characters in this episode. Dylan having this, this like identity crisis, as I mentioned, of like, well, I just met my wife, but she's not my wife. Who are you? But and her wife is also having this problem of like, you're my husband, but you're not really my husband. And the whole conversation is just kind of awkward in my eyes, but it's also very endearing at the same time because Dylan wants to know who he is because he doesn't know who he is. And once we cut back to the Audis, their outside version, it's like a completely different character. And his wife, whose name I'm kind of forgetting, I apologize, but his wife, again, like different, a different personality, if you will, a different, a change in character because on the severed floor, she was like very calm, not calm. She wasn't sure what to do in that situation. Is the vibe that I got from her. I feel a sense of confusion, a sense of fear as well because again, like, what if I hate this version of my husband, right? What if this does not go well? And it's this really awkward, like, timid kind of response that she is giving to our Dylan, right? But then on the outside, we kind of learn that she, I believe she is a police officer or somebody who is in the workforce. I kind of forgot if that was also mentioned during their talks in the previous episode. Regardless, completely different personality on the outside because she's a lot more energetic, but also a lot more exhausted at the same time. And when she was talking to Dylan, I don't know, man. I don't feel that spark. I don't feel that love. Like when she was hugging our Dylan in the severed floor, and she says like, like I love you, and then she goes, sorry, force of habit. But then we see the outside version of that, and honestly, like I just don't. I don't feel the same energy that you were showcasing to us before. Where did that energy go? Is it because you feel like you are with a different, a different person, a different Dylan, a different human being? Is that, is that what you're thinking right now? Because the way you responded to Audi Dylan made Audi Dylan also feel like it also made him feel miserable, in my opinion. At least that is kind of the vibe that I got because he wasn't sure about it himself. When his wife basically answered like, yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. It's okay. It was good. Like, what do you mean it was good? Tell me more. Like, I feel bad for Dylan. Because Audi, I feel bad for Audi Dylan. Because Audi Dylan, I feel like he does not know, like, what his innie is trying to do or who his innie is. And we haven't even talked about, like, about Mark as a character. But I feel like Mark is pretty straightforward in if I would discuss him. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about Mark. I feel like we've talked about Mark a lot, and at this point, we're just seeing his natural development go. Like this is to be expected, right? This is, I don't want to say formulaic, even though it is, but nothing wrong with that. In fact, like I want this to happen to him. So I don't know. I don't know what else to talk to when it comes to Mark. It's a crazy episode. It is a crazy episode. Felicia, she knows about the about the door. And I also love that scene of her and Irving bonding, because if we go back to like season 1, when they first met, she was kind of a bit antagonizing. She was kind of like disapprove of this relationship that is building between Irving and Bird. But now that Bird is gone, these two can bond together, because of Bird. But she knows about the door, she knows about the hallway. Shipping relates to Cold Harbor, but we still don't know exactly what Cold Harbor is. But we do know one thing, though. We do know one thing when we saw the discussion, or we saw the conversation between Miss Cobell and Helena. Cold Harbor is Miss Cobell's work, apparently. Or at the very least, it is the project that she supervised in its entirety. We also know that Cold Harbor is related heavily with Gemma. But the question is, like, what is Mark actually doing that correlates to Cold Harbor? I mean, we kind of know that whatever thing that Mark is doing in MDR with the numbers and whatever, that that relates to Cold Harbor in a way, like that influences Cold Harbor, but we don't know what it actually is. And that is the scary part. Like, we don't know what Mark is actually doing to Gemma. Speaking of Gemma, we haven't seen her in a while, except for like photos and whatever that they finally show. I mean, of course, they're showing like all of the photos, and not hiding it, unlike the first season. I'm also feeling like the conversation between Helly and Mark when they said their plan to get Gemma out, and them running to the hallway, get out of the door, and once they're out of the door, Audi Mark will handle the rest. I feel like that is foreshadowing. I feel like that is gonna happen sometime in the season. But during that scene, during that moment when they were talking about it, we got this really weird chemistry kind of going on between Helly and Mark, because we know that they love each other. They obviously have romantic feelings towards each other. I mean, they kissed, in the first season, but they now know information that, well, Helly knows who she is, but she's not telling Mark. But Mark knows that that he has a wife, like his actual wife, and they're still kind of like getting close to each other. It's like they're trying to kiss, obviously, because it's like they're getting closer, it's getting hot in here, you know what I mean? But it's like they can't really do it because it's like, well, we know how fucked up this is. But they still kind of want to do it, and that's like the thing, though. It's like a part of them wants to do it. They know that it is wrong. Ugh. The fact that the show keeps pushing it is kind of scaring me. It is scaring me in the sense that I don't know what I am going to feel if they still pursue this romance between the two of them, knowing who they really are. But at the same time, that's also, that question is also like kind of ambiguous. Whatever. You know what word I'm talking about. Because it talks about like, well, who are you? Goes back to like the question of the show. Who are you? It's gonna become really weird because now Mark is reintegrated. Now he has potentially memories of both the inside and the outside. Just like Petey. It's gonna fuck up his head every now and again, but like, if he knows, and if he's keeping it a secret, because I feel like he has to keep this a secret. He has to keep the fact that he is reintegrated a secret from his coworkers, I believe. Because if they know, then they become a liability if Milchick comes in and kind of, talk to them, push them and whatever. Like, it has to be a secret. So now it's going to be a situation where Mark is hiding this secret from Helly, and Helly is going to hide her secret with Mark. So we're now going to have this secret relationship. And I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not hating it. I just don't know how to feel about it if it happens on the grand scheme of things. Like, how is that going to affect the plot? How is that going to affect Gemma? I don't think it's going to affect Gemma. But like, solid episode. It's really good. This was a really good episode. All right, we continue Severance with season 2, episode 4. Last time on Severance, we end with Mark reintegrated. Seemingly, it's obviously a success, but we don't know how successful it was. And what I mean is, if you look back at like Petey and his situation, obviously he was flip-flopping, right? He was going back and forth between his innie memories and outie memories. Like that was like the, his mind still being messed up, right? But you could also blame that on him for not, I guess, following Ragabi's instructions on, standard, checkups and whatever. We're getting something spicy here because now, the next time Mark is gonna be in Lumen, he's gonna have Audi Mark's memories. Let's see how that play out. Let's see how how he's gonna tiptoe his way. Let's see how he has to keep a low profile. I don't know how that's gonna work, considering the last time he tried to keep a low profile, it wasn't really a low profile, and Milchik immediately figured it out. I'm speaking of the start of season 2, episode 2. Oh no, episode 1, actually. No, episode 1. But yeah, let's continue on with Severance, season 2, episode 4. This is not where we left off. Beautiful. But oh, is this the lake where Kier was standing? That painting where Kier was on the left, standing on top of a, like that on the left right there.
Irving! Hey!
What is happening?
What's happening?
That's my question.
I'm on the ice! I'm on the fucking ice! Maybe get off of it! Come on!
Get off the ice. but like oh, great start. This is like a Breaking Bad start. You know what I mean?
Irving! Helly!
Okay.
Where did you come from?
I don't know.
Did you wake up on the ice too?
Yeah. What about you? On the cliff.
Oh my god!
Of course, Helly wakes up on the cliff.
Oh my god, I mean, I knew there was no actual ceiling, but this is fucking insane!
The Kier tune, whatever it is. But yeah, the last time Dylan was outside, he was in his closet, right? Not actually outside. I hope I'm watching the right episode. I don't want to repeat what I did with Better Call Saul.
You will spend the next 2 calendar days walking the meadows, thickets, brambles, and brooks that make up the Dieter-Egan National Forest.
Who the fuck is Dieter-Egan?
Dieter-Egan? Kier dictated a 4th appendix. It's waiting for you in Scissor Cave. The very same grotto where Kier Egan tamed the 4 tempers for the very first time.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck? Kind of looks like Mark.
It looks like Mark.
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Dude. No opening credits? Alright. Alright. Oh, beautiful shot. Oh, the transition there, beautiful. There's something different about this episode. I'm loving it, but there's like, it does not feel the same way as other Severance episodes.
The lodgings of my mother's womb I shared with another, a twin brother who was called Dieter.
Kier had a twin.
Oh.
My love for my twin unbalancing my judgment, I acceded and we ventured into the wood, towards Woe's Hollow.
Once concealed by Flora, my brother unfastened himself. The din of his fervor fell strangely into concert with the music of the wood.
Edited the same way as when Mark was reading. Since we don't know Dieter's fate, safe to assume that he died. And off the records. Oh, that looks so uncanny. Looks like hands. But I was wondering if did Kier kill his own like twin brother or something like that? Like Cain and Abel in the Bible? Irving's suspiciously looking at Mark and Helly.
What were you and Helly talking about back there? I don't trust her.
Oh.
I think she might be lying about what her outie saw.
Why would you think that?
Night gardeners?
Yeah. What is that?
What is it?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a carcass, but I don't know.
Like a seal?
We should eat it.
Pardon me?
We don't know if there's food waiting at the hollow. We don't even know where we are.
We all know you had a bad experience last time you were outside.
Who said I had a bad experience?
Oh my God.
What did you tell him, dumbass?
Nothing! What the fuck?
Let's just get to the hollow.
I'm trying to think, like, what is that? Is that a person? I mean, it doesn't look like one, but I mean.
Kier's twin was always with him. That's why we provided the very same for each of you. This is the tallest waterfall on the planet.
This is the tallest waterfall. Oh, beautiful shot. There's something like magical or fantastical even about this episode. At least that's what I'm feeling, which is very different from, again, like the rest of the show, which is more geared towards, you know, science fiction and a level of groundedness, if that makes sense, even though there's a lot of like really crazy things going on. I don't know. Miss Wong?
Miss Wong has been readying the grill, for which we brought in copious luxury meats.
Wow.
Wow, indeed, Heliar. For your comfort and safety, torches, which can provide both a heat and a light source. Double duty.
It's beautiful.
And so you give fire to man.
Made you a snow seal.
Is Helly even Helly? Or am I looking at Helena?
See during the overtime contingency.
I told you.
It won't change anything.
Irving?
You see that change in her facial expression there? Am I looking at Helena or am I looking at Helly? I'm not sure. No, because if I'm looking at Helly, then she could have continued telling the lie regardless, right? But why would she not tell Irving unless she doesn't know. Helena doesn't know.
I was looking at him when his eye came out. It popped from the socket,
Oh.
driven by a sudden torrent of pus from his skull.
Good heavens.
And as the pus from his eye thickened into sap,
Why is she
I
smiling?
turned from my gargling brother and walked to the pool.
Helly, I swear, she might actually be Helena. I might be paranoid. Why is she smiling?
This is your doing. You suffered his wantonness. Now he's no one's brother. Only chaos's whore.
Jeez.
Perhaps in the morning we'll have
Nah,
time
dude.
for the next chapter.
Helly is not acting like Helly today.
Did his brother really die that way, Mr. Milchek?
The handbook enriches our work with tales of the founder's life.
What?
Heliar,
You guys. He melted, right? He turned into the forest because he masturbated.
It's
you know we often laugh at what we don't understand. Miss Wong,
Okay, that feels like Helly,
marshmallows, please.
but I don't know, man.
Just tell us, Helly.
What?
The night gardener. Tell us
Okay.
exactly
Irving,
what
that's
he was
enough.
wearing. Enough!
Yeah.
Using your pupils to make love to her. While your outie's wife rots away somewhere.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah, fuck you, Irv.
Oh, so it's 3 against 1 now, huh?
We all know Irving's upset because he can't ever see Bert again. He's really lonely.
I can't fucking tell. And I mean, that's kind of the point. I feel. It's been a great episode, by the way. Oh, I'm really enjoying like the slow tension building up in this episode.
That was mean of me to say that to Irving.
You kind of deserved it.
Sorry if I'm distracting you from
From what?
From Gemma.
looking for your wife.
Are they? No. They're gonna. They are. I have so many questions. Come on, Irving. I really don't want anything bad happening to Irving right now. Oh, what a shot. Man, the use of light in both Haley and Mark's scene, contrasting that with Irving. Oh man, Irving. Alone in the cold?
Didn't like who I was on the outside.
Oh, is she gonna open herself to Mark?
Who are you?
She would tell Mark, wouldn't she?
I don't care who you are out there. I care who you are with me.
You okay?
Yeah, it's kicking in. Because I was wondering, you know, like... With his normal clothes. And... What the fuck? What? This whole episode feels like we are psychologically going, you know, it feels like we're going deep into each of our characters' psychology. Like, this feels like this is something that is inside Irving's mind. I mean... Okay, from the book. This is all your fault, I believe, is what she said in the book, right?
Hey, where's Helly? I don't know. Irv never came back last night and he's not in his tent.
What?
Mark! Dylan, what's happened?
Helly and Irv are missing.
What the fuck is going on?
Helly's going straight to the waterfall. Oh, no, don't tell me she's gonna try to commit suicide once again.
Irving.
What you said to me last night? It was cruel. Helly was never cruel.
Yeah? That's what I'm saying! She's not acting like Helly this entire time.
So if you're not her,
who are you?
then who are you? Who would have the power to send their Audi to the severed floor?
Oh my god, Irving's gonna figure it out!
No, Irving!
Mr. Milkshake!
No.
Come on.
So yeah, Helena was going to the waterfall because of its significant value to her as an Egan.
Turn her back, Mr. Milkshake! She's an Audi! Hey! Irving, cut it out! Stop! She's been an Audi the whole time! Ever since she came back! Irving! She's an Egan! Turn her back, Mr. Milkshake!
She got it, he got it! He got it!
Yes! Do it, Seth!
I mean, she just flat out admits it at that point, right? And then he immediately embraces her. Wow!
I'm so sorry, Hilly.
You have threatened collegial murder in the pond of Woe's Hollow. For this, there can be no penalty but immediate and permanent dismissal.
Irv! I'm sorry! I should have listened!
It's okay.
It's alright, Dylan.
Just remember, hang in there.
Oh.
Leave him alone!
You feel that raw voice coming from Dylan there.
Walk into the forest.
Oh, damn.
It will be as if you, Irving B.,
died.
never even existed, nor drew a single breath upon this earth.
They are cruel for playing this kind of music at the end credits, man. Oh, what an episode. there's some again, like there's something whimsical about this episode, but there's oh my god, this episode. That was a unique experience. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but this was a totally different approach to the show, especially in its storytelling, in its visual storytelling, and its storytelling in general, its direction. Like this was different, as I mentioned. You know, like there's something different about this episode, but I like it. It's this level of uniqueness because it is of a different setting. We've always been in this town, and we've always been in Lumen, and the towns, in a way, the town that we live in for the most part has always been kind of an extension of Lumen, considering how much Lumen has influence over that town. And yet here we are in this isolated area, the Dieter Egan National Park, or whatever it's called. And it's just purely covered in snow, purely white. We're in this forest. There's a big frozen lake. It feels magical in the sense that we have been transported into somewhat a different world. For our characters, this is a different world to them. So this is like a totally different experience for them. And I love the way this episode is kind of portraying that, and how it is essentially translating the character's whimsy experience of being on this outside, this weird and strange world that they just, just existed just for this moment, to us, the audience. Because for us, being on the outside, I mean, this is pretty normal. You know what I mean? Like, it is normal for us to see trees, to see the sky, especially in, a cloudy sky and whatever. Like, this is normal for us, but this is not normal for them. And how do you translate this weird experience of discovering something that is normal for us? And that is by basically utilizing the medium, and by harmonizing between the music, the shots, the editing, everything that makes it feel jarring but at the same time beautiful. That is how I experienced this episode, and that is beautiful in my eyes. I don't know exactly like the exact intent of of when directing this episode, but I would imagine that is what they were aiming for us to feel the same way as our characters as we explore this really weird forest that they are in, that is new to them but very similar, but familiar to us. So props to like the production of this episode specifically. Again, incredible stuff, and again, I've already talked about like how good the cinematography of this show is since day one. But again, the cinematography in this episode was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now that we got that out of the way. The characters. Wow. Okay. Ooh, where do I start? Because I want to talk about Helly, I want to talk about Irving. I'll talk about Dylan first because he's the one that I have least to talk about in this episode. But I love how Dylan is always by Irving's side, especially by the end of this episode. I love that aspect of him. It's like, his character in that regard has not changed. In fact, it only solidifies it even more. His friendship with Irving has never been stronger than this episode, especially by the very end. Mark himself in this episode. See, here's the thing, right? Because in the last episode, we know where the last episode ended, right? We ended the last episode with Mark being reintegrated. But so I was kind of expecting this episode to follow on that, but we didn't. If anything, we are suddenly in this really, again, like we were suddenly transported here, right? And I guess for Mark, like the reason why I was kind of like unsure about Mark in this episode is because I just wasn't sure, like, who am I looking at? Am I looking at Mark S, the innie, or am I looking at Mark Scout, the outie? Is it already an amalgamation of both, or has it not fully, clicked for him in this instance? Like, I wasn't sure, right? But then obviously by the moment where Mark was making love with Helly, and then her face turns into Gemma just for like a couple of seconds there. That answered my question. I think if what the show is trying to imply is true, and that is this process is catching up to Inimark. It could also just be him being reminded of Gemma in that moment. That could also just be a possibility in visual storytelling. But I would relate this more to like what actually happened in the previous episode, because that is a big deal that just happened, right? But I guess it's also, again, like, we don't know, right? As audience members, we don't know exactly how reintegration works and how quick it is to happen to the person, and how it like spontaneously affects both the innie and the outie. I would imagine outie Mark like have this would have the memories of innie Mark the moment the last episode ended, but innie Mark hasn't had that feeling just yet. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. These are all rhetorical questions, by the way, because at the end of the day, what this because of my confusion, it does make me question characters a lot more in this episode, which puts me into Irving's position a lot more. Like, I can relate to him a lot more in this episode, because Irving, as much as me, is looking to Mark, and especially to Helly, with very suspicious eyes, because Helly here, you're not acting like Helly. And I was like, at one point, I was so certain that this was Helena, but Helena was also so good at fooling the rest of the cast that she almost kind of fooled me, because I was like, okay, wait a minute. Helena wouldn't make masturbation jokes about, an Egan, would she? But at the same time, she might do it because, to maintain cover and whatever. So I was like, is she? Is she not? Is she? Is she not? But she is. Helly is Helena in this entire episode. And I feel like I have to give props to, to the performances, because everybody did a fantastic job in this episode. I think everybody gave an incredible performance. Irving, especially Dylan, shouting, get away from him, like, don't touch him and whatever at the end. That was really sweet. That was really powerful, very raw at the same time. But Helly, every time we cut back to her, and there's this uncanniness in her facial expressions, where, again, like, she's smiling at moments where you shouldn't be smiling in this part. In this moment, there's also like times where she, the way she looks, micro expressions here and there. And I'm glad that the episode was, literally focusing on her. So I thought that was great. I'm just saying that, I really appreciate the attention to detail that they put on this show, specifically on this episode, even more specifically on Helly, as the way she is acting is definitely not like Helly at all. Like, it is enough to fool people to think that she is still Helly, but enough to raise eyebrows that, wait a minute, you're not acting the way you should be acting. So that's great. I love that. But that just makes things a lot worse. The fact that this is Helena this entire time. And what I mean is, she has been like what is she doing? What is like it oh. If we're diving into like analyzing Helena as a character, we go back to like episode, what was it? Episode 1? Like episode 1 or episode 2, where she was looking at the the recording of Helly kissing Mark. Beautiful shot of her eyes. But during that moment, during that time, and I believe I already talked about it during that episode discussion, but I was wondering, like, what is going on inside Helena's mind during that moment, right? You see yourself falling in love with someone, but that's not you. But it is you to an extent, right? It's this weird feeling of you. I am looking at myself feeling emotions that I currently do not have. I'm looking at maybe a quote unquote a better version of me. Again, like I don't know how Helena views Helly in this instance, because in a way, you can say that Helena is abusing Helly, right? Because Helly wants to leave. Helly does not want to be in Lumen. She has attempted suicide, and she has attempted, endangering her life time and time again. And yet Helena still allows her to suffer, right? Helena is making Helly suffer. What is the feeling that Helena has for Helly? Because I don't think it's love. I don't think it's even jealousy. I think it's just hatred. Obviously, I would love to be proven wrong, but with the way this episode goes, Helena is taking away something that Helly longs for. Love. Helly longs for love. Helly wants to be with Mark, right? As selfish as it is for Helly to want to make love with Mark, knowing that Mark has a wife, right? Helena is still, by all means, taking away that feeling from Helly. You know, she took that away from her. She used her. Helena is using Helly's love for Mark in order to not just, again, abuse Helly, but also to take advantage of Mark in this instance. Mark himself, I would say, Mark S, the Innie, I would say Mark the Innie is very conflicted in his current feelings towards both Helly and Gemma, because Mark S, Innie Mark has more developed feelings for Helly as opposed to Gemma. Right? It's one thing to know that you're supposed to be in love with this person, and it's another thing when you are actually feeling love for another person. Right? And that's like one of the romantic conflicts within this episode, especially with Mark, right? Because again, like I said, like he knows he's supposed to be in love with Gemma, but if we're talking about like natural development, she is in love with Helly, right? And Helena is taking that, she is taking that as an advantage for her own needs. But I guess what Helena does not know is that Mark is currently in the process of reintegration, right? And that is kind of like the flaw of the Eons and Lumen in general. They don't believe in reintegration. That's like the thing that that Miss Cobell has been pressing them on this entire time. She's like, no, you gotta believe me. Reintegration is real. I can prove it. And the board and everybody else is like, no, that's not possible. That's like their flaw, right? So I would imagine that Helena here has no idea or didn't even think about Mark reintegrating or, gaining his memories back. Like, why would she think of that, right? Kind of the flaw of like every person in power. Like they're so high and mighty above that they could not see like if something is stumbling below. And when that falters, when that little block falls beneath you, it shatters the whole structure and you don't even realize it, right? Because you're so far up. Helena, geez, what a character. We're never seeing Irving again, are we? At least our Irving. The Irving that we know has died. That sucks. Like, I don't know how they could bring him back. Maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when Lumen and Milchik, when they talk about like, hey, if we turn this off, your Innie is gone forever. Like, I believe that. Out of all of the nonsensical lies that they spout every now and again, that is like one of the lines that I agree that I kind of believe in. Like, switch it off. If you die, then that's it. You die, you die. Irving died this episode. I don't know how we're gonna get him back, and I don't think we're gonna get him back. I feel sad. I mean, I feel sad for Irving, but at the same time, it's a different feeling because Irving's not dead. Like Irving's still alive, and we know that Audi Irving is trying to solve a the kind of the same mystery that we are trying to solve as well, right? Audi Irving is in cahoots with somebody who is against Lumen. That we know. So again, like I feel like Irving passing or any Irving passing didn't have the same impact for me personally because I know Audi Irving will probably be the same as any Irving, if that makes sense. Like, sure, he doesn't have our memories, and that's like the part that saddens us, right? But he's still like part of the cause. I guess another thing that I guess another thing that I wasn't, that I'm still unsure of is I don't actually know like if there is a way. I would imagine there isn't a way, but what if there is? To bring Irving back. Maybe his memory is stored in like some vault or whatever, or maybe they can just switch it back on. I don't know. Who's to say, right? It's not like they yanked the device out. Like I don't think that's possible. I feel like they kind of established that. So I don't know, but Irving's Irving sacrificed himself for this. Irving sacrificed himself for uh for bringing out the truth that Helly is Helena. By all means, I think that is a net positive because now we know, and now like the team. If Mark keeps to his word, I don't know about Dylan though, but if Mark keeps to his word, then he would comfort Helly and he would try to maybe convince Helly to do something because, hey, you have a position of power on the outside. How can we use that to our advantage? And sure, we're practically doing the same tactic that Helena was employing here in this episode. But, in this instance, I would say, the means, justifies the end. But yeah, Irving's whole journey in this episode is fantastic. It was great. We end the episode with Irving, and then we start the episode with Irving, and then we end the episode with Irving. That's great. What a journey, man. What a journey for Irving now that I think about it. Like I'm looking at it for, on the bigger picture because, as we know, Irving is one of those really devout followers of Egan when we first meet him, and look at him now in his final moments in an act of defiance as he looks, face to face towards Milchick like he's not afraid. Like that's what I love about Irving in this episode, in the moment of death, right? Because he knows this is it. This is his final moments. In his moment of death, he stood up for himself, looks at Milchick right in the eye, defiance. No fear whatsoever. Like he's just, yeah, I love that. It's powerful. It's very powerful. You know what else is powerful? Irving immediately hugging and embracing Helly when she finally turns back into any Helly. I find that to be so beautiful. That was so beautiful. It's it goes to show, man, the more I think about it, the more it's so emotional to me. It's showing to me like how much Irving cares for Helly, knowing the fact that Helly is an Egan, by the way. He knows that Helly is an Egan, and his embrace. And Helly doesn't even know what is going on, right? That's like the other sad part. Like Helly doesn't know what is happening here. She doesn't know that she just made love with Mark. She doesn't know that Irving, pretty much figured it out. But like he embraces her. She tells her that, like he is sorry, but it's okay, it's fine. Despite this episode practically trying to portray Irving in this character in the sense that he is going to hate Helly if he knows that Helly is an Egan. If Helly tells the truth, then Irving is gonna lash out, and he did, right, during the end of the episode, right, to tell Milchick to bring her, to bring her back. This is a, this is an outie. Bring her back. But once she comes back, immediately he embraces her. Ah, what a beautiful send off. I want to check what is in the screen that he saw, because words were forming, but I wasn't quite clear on. Oh, okay. Just yeah, just it's spelling out Egan's. Eagn. Yeah, it's spelling out Egan's. Okay. I mean, I guess that's one way to get answers. It came to him in his dream. I'm wondering now, like, how much of that part was formed in a dream just because, which I don't really mind, or is it actually something that is seeping through from the outside, from his outie's knowledge, the same way as we saw, the inks, the black inks and whatever forming every now and again. Like, I wonder if that could also be the case. Could that be a factor? Does Outie Irving know about Helena Egan? I would assume so, because she's Helena Egan. Regardless, she is an Egan, right? Probably a famous person at this point. So I would imagine some of the Audis know about Helena, but they don't know that Helena is working as Hellion in Lumen. I never really thought about that, now that I think about it. I never really thought of the idea that the Audis themselves know who Helena Egan is. The more I think about Mark's decision to be with Helly in this episode, does reinforce my early prediction on like where Mark is gonna go in regards to his character in the season, and that this is going to be like the ultimate choice for him to either choose between Helly or Gemma. I feel like we are moving into that direction, especially by the end of the season. Mark is gonna have to make a choice. Mark is gonna have to make a choice between saving Gemma or saving Helly. And it's gonna be a tough decision, because I don't think he's gonna save both, because either choice leads to betrayal, right? Again, I am assuming that Mark can only choose one. Structurally speaking, right? If we're talking about like the narrative structure of the show, I feel like they are not going to do he can save both of them. No, I feel like this is going to end with Mark having to choose between one or the other, and maybe come back for the other, maybe in like future seasons or whatever, right? Because either way, I do feel with the direction of both Mark and Helly in this season, I do strongly believe that by the end of this, if we are also to judge the opening credits that was not shown in this episode, but the opening credits of season 2, right, ends with Mark looking at like the elevator, or like the long hallway and whatever, and therein lies both Gemma and Helly switching back and forth. Again, he has to make that choice. The question is, who is he going to choose? And with the direction of both these two characters are going with in the season, very strong chance he's going to save Gemma regardless. He's gonna save Gemma. He's maybe gonna leave Helly behind for some reason. Helly is going to feel betrayed. And here comes Helena. Because I think it would be cool. Well, not cool. I think it would be I think it would be a unique approach if Helena, if they flip the switch, if they flip the script even, and Helena comes in to help Helly. Like, they can communicate through video or whatever, right? All of this is to say that I am scared for both of them. I'm scared for both of them. Again, I feel like what I mentioned in my first episode discussion of season 2, I feel like has been kind of reinforced in this episode, and it makes me worry even more. I would love to be proven wrong though. It's hard. It's hard to want happiness for all of these characters when that is seemingly impossible in this show. Maybe in other shows that can be possible. Not in this show. I don't feel like this is the kind of show where every character is gonna live happily ever after. One of them just died in this episode. Whoop-de-doo. We continue with Severance Season 2, Episode 5. Last episode, we lost someone. Rest in peace. Irving. Any Irving. Not Audi Irving. Irving is still alive. But like, we lost Any Irving. And we lost one of the goats. I really enjoyed Irving. I really love Irving as a character, and he was getting a lot, I was liking him more and more as a character, but it's a sad state of affairs what happened last episode. But a lot of things happened in the last episode. Don't get me wrong, like the whole thing with Helena and all. But like, it's gonna be very interesting to see like how this episode and I guess the rest of the series and like how they're gonna be tackling this issue, like the loss of a of a member of the group, right? And it's very different from PD. Let's just put it that way, because I feel like there wasn't this group that we have right now, this 4 core cast of characters, this is a family, right? This is a big family that they have come together and they love each other and they have each other's back and whatever. I'm not getting that familial, that family aspect at the start of the series with the original crew or the when we first meet them, when Hallie first became part of MDR. Like it didn't feel like family at that time. It just felt like coworkers. Petey felt like, a really good friend to Mark, but still a coworker nonetheless. Like they don't see themselves as family yet. Now they do, and they just lost one of their, they lost one of their family members. They just lost Irving. It's like losing a big brother. So it's gonna be very. I'm very curious. I'm very keen to see like how they're gonna be tackling that. How they're gonna be handling the whole. Yeah, we lost someone. Like, what if like Lubin says like, well, he's not dead. Irving's still alive, technically speaking. Like, how are they gonna handle that? How is Mark gonna handle the fact that he was fucking Helena? How is Helly gonna tackle the fact that she was being used by Helena, by her other self, in order to get to Mark? A lot of things happen in the last episode, like I said, that we need to address. So, yeah. Very excited. Without any further ado, let us jump straight into Severance. They're hiding his face. Who is this?
Do you have him?
Beautifully shot, though. Oh, is this for Miss Casey? Cold Harbor? Medical tools to pry the head open? It is. Down he goes. It's interesting because they have to go up to get the equipment from OND. And I feel like OND doesn't really know what they're helping with, as is the case with any other department in the seventh floor because, you know, the whole thing about them is, of course, you know, secrecy, right? They don't even know other departments exist, right? Everything is in the dark for them, much like how MDR doesn't really know like what the numbers really mean. I would be surprised if OND actually knows about it, you know, like if they know what they're helping with, but I kind of doubt it. Because if they know, they would have told, you know, they would have told MDR.
Hey.
You need to get your dryer fixed.
Yeah, or you could just, like, not live here.
I can't keep coming in and out.
Right.
Hey, when do we keep going? Because I haven't remembered anything else.
Okay, that explains it.
Well, maybe he already has.
Hmm. So I thought it was like the process was completed in like 2 episodes ago, but no, it's still beautiful shot. But yeah, we still need to continue working on this process. And this shot is it's beautiful. They've done this multiple times with Helena. That specific type of sequence.
He should hear it from me.
We have decided to spare him knowledge of this contretemps.
Hmm.
What's he at? 78%?
81 as of Friday.
It won't be much longer. You can do this.
He? Mark?
I'll just fake it again.
We can't take that chance.
We need to clean this up. Milchik's many errors this weekend have forced our hand.
Whoa.
Father approves.
Father encouraged it.
Encouraged it.
And the work is mysterious and important.
They keep saying that.
I'm Miss Swung.
What the hell?
I thought they met already.
I need to know what's going on. Like right now.
Where's Irving?
And why was he trying to drown me?
Because you're a fucking Egan.
Was she spying on us?
Wait, what?
Helena Egan, in her executive capacity, was conducting valuable research.
By stealing my fucking body?
Have you ever heard the story of the Glaxschupen?
The what?
In ancient times, the king of Sweden himself was known to go incognito amongst his people in the hopes of learning their true grievances. Keir Egan himself was known to do so in his ether factories, and Miss Egan was carrying on this noble tradition. Allow me to escort you to MDR and help reacclimate you to your work environment.
Was Helly Helena in episode 2?
If you're taking feedback, I hate it.
Nah, dude.
Hall passes will still be available.
Let us have a funeral.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Thank you. Not you.
I mean, Mark was feeling he's probably still, you know, processing what just happened before, especially with the fact that he was with Helena and not with Helly.
Hello?
Look at this shot, though.
Yeah, seriously fucked up.
Yes.
He's like talking to 2 Hellys here. That's great.
Like you. Or you're like her? I don't know. I don't know who you are, I guess.
Oh, look at this.
What happened to you up there?
He's not gonna say.
May I say a question? You shouldn't let them have a funeral. It makes them feel like people.
Oh.
That wasn't a question. That was an opinion.
They're fucking animals, as Helena puts it.
Your first performance review is today, right?
I'll ready the refreshments. You focus on the mournful signage.
Milchick looks scared there just for a bit at the
Today
thought
we
of
honor Irving B.
today being his, review day or whatever it was.
You may now briefly partake in Irving's fruit head.
That
dark hair
is
courtesy of the Black Beauty watermelon from the country of Malaysia.
That's a bit morbid. Oh, look at this though. He's distancing himself from the two of them.
Irving was your friend, and he's dead. Why don't you give a shit?
Because he's not dead, he's just not here.
Hmm.
You tell her Miss Casey's your wife yet?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's my Audi's wife, but sure. No, it's pretty crazy.
Mark, look, I'm not her. I'm not.
Oh, look at this shot again.
I'm me.
And how do I know that?
The way Mark's kind of fading because of the...
You don't.
Oh.
Your first performance review as department chief. Excited?
Very much so. The paintings. I want you to understand I am grateful for them.
The racist paintings.
I was just wondering if you could share with me a little how you felt when you received the paintings.
Okay, Milchick. Okay.
Face similar challenges.
Hmm.
And perhaps the paintings and the somewhat complicated feelings they evoke.
Mr. Drummond's waiting.
Yes, of course.
Ah. Dodges the question.
Okay, asshole. Guess this is it.
Oh! Clever, clever, clever.
1. Uses too many big words.
Well, perchance I may colloquially employ.
Anti-deflections will be heard after the lunch break. You instituted kindness reforms.
Because I'm not Harmony Cobell.
You arranged an outdoor retreat and team-building occurrence, which resulted in the termination of one employee and the discovery of the true identity of another, at great risk and harm to the Egan name. Mark Scout's completion of Cold Harbor will be remembered as one of the greatest moments in the history of this planet. It's quite a legacy you will leave.
Oh no.
Thank you, Mr. Drummond.
Mark said like, what, 81%? They said? Wow. 85%. Here we go. Here we go. It's almost 5. We're learning a lot more of Milchick in this episode, which I really appreciate.
Hi, Mark.
Mr. Milchick.
Okay.
I see you left work 6 minutes early.
Whatever you say, Mr. Milchick. Praise cure.
Praise cure. Invasion of privacy. He's crossing the threshold that is dividing them.
Did you tell her that you fucked her Audi at the Orp Ball? Helena Egan, leader in waiting of this company.
The workers were
He's coughing again.
Babe, it's the literal opposite of what you were saying before.
One point that Nat made was...
Okay, Lumen hurts people, you know that. And if you want to water down your work so they can use it for their fucking propaganda, then you're hurting people too.
Tell him.
This is a fiscal and creative opportunity unlike any I have yet seen.
Oh, come on, Rickon. Irving? Okay. Okay, good. Is he actually talking to Ragabi? Are we gonna know? Is Bert waiting somewhere, just stalking him again?
They fired me. I have to go.
That's crazy.
Why are you following me? I got this thing. When somebody shows up on my doorstep screaming my name, I want to know why.
Fair enough.
It wasn't you at all, was it? You're severed.
I mean, he got that right.
They said my innie had an unsanctioned erotic entanglement with another worker. They wouldn't tell me who.
Or they went straight to the point with the reasoning, huh? He's putting two and two together.
You think we were an item? Well, Fields certainly thinks so. Fields? That's my husband, Fields.
Ah.
We got a ham. We're planning to have it tomorrow. Might be nice if you come over. We could sit down, talk through it all.
Yeah.
You, me,
And Fields.
Fields.
I don't see any harm in it, considering they don't really have any actual... Oh, look at the reflection,
You
though.
need a lift? I know where you live. See you tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. I know where you live, too.
Are we gonna...
One more day. Usually that's best.
Usually, you've done this once. Are they hurting her?
I don't know.
Your Audi can roller skate
Wow.
with grace.
Being drawn into the break room.
Listens to music while shaving, but not while showering. Your Audi once captured a butterfly.
Oh. Oh, you see the sadness in his eyes there. We've been following Helena this entire time. Helly was never there to begin with. Like, when we met Helly in episode 1, that wasn't really Helly at all. It was actually Helena this entire time, which I guess makes perfect sense considering the episode title of this is Trojan's Horse. It also makes more sense if you think, now that I think about it, about like Helly's whole quote-unquote demeanor and actions and how she has been sort of manipulating Mark. Because I talked about it in the first episode discussion where I thought Helly was trying to keep the status quo because she kept pressing for Mark that, hey, that's your Audi's wife. That's not your innie. That's not who you actually like, right? You know, and all that stuff. And I thought that was kind of really weird for Helly, but I figured, you know, like probably a natural progression of her character because of her fear of herself on the outside of Helena. She wants to, you know, whatever. That just makes me want to give so much props to her actress. Why am I forgetting her name? I apologize, but I want to keep the review going. She did an amazing job if that is the case, because if that is the case, then that is Helena acting as Helly. It's really interesting because I kept thinking about it this entire episode, like why did Helly not remember Miss Huang? Why did Helly not remember Gemma being Marx's wife? That's like the explanation is pretty clear now that I think about it, right? Hence why Dylan was also the one who was asking her, you know, or press the matter at hand. You know, like did you actually, you know, did you forget to tell her and whatever? And yeah. Irving, on the other hand, gone, but his influence remains. It's definitely going to be a major push for Dylan as well, because I feel like Dylan and Irving kind of got closer and closer as friends as we continue on this journey. In fact, no, I want to look at the note that was left in that Dylan found on the poster. No, it's from OND. First turn right at the. Okay. No, this is Irving's drawing and note. Okay, this is actually from Irving. I thought it was from OND because the thing that I read was just from OND. No. It's okay. So Irving put this on the back of the poster. I think Irving talked about this to Dylan. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Irving talked to Dylan about this, or he gave clues. I can't remember if it was like actually the last episode or was it the first episode. This is really important information though. Dylan knows about this. He purposely puts the note back on the poster. I really enjoyed Milchick's development in this episode because Milchick is pretty much experiencing kind of the same issues that Cobell was having in the first episode and in the first season, where she is getting fucked by the higher ups because she keeps getting mismanagement here and there. I'm not saying that everything that Miss Cobell did is good. Not everything that Milchick has done is good, right? But still, though, it's this. Like as much as I do not like these two characters as people who are going against our main characters, they're still very multi-layered and faceted, and that they are not the bigger evil for the purposes of this discussion. Like they're the bad guys, but they're not the bad guys. They're not the ones that are evil. There is a bigger evil up there, right? It's the Egans, it's the board. And they're fucking everybody, including Milchick and Cobell, right? I was thinking, with the episodes that we got with Cobell in the season, I was getting the impression that Cobell might actually be on our side in some capacity in the future because she does not fuck with Helena, right? Like the whole, I'm still remembering like that whole final scene with Cobell where she wants to speak with the board. Helena grants her permission. Come with me. And then as they were walking, Cobell suddenly stops and walks away. Like she almost got what she wanted. It was delivered to her on a silver platter, right? Like, you want to talk to the board? Let's talk to the board. But Cobell kind of goes, no, I'm good. I'm gone. You're not gonna see me forever. Like she's gone. That made me think that in the future Cobell might actually go against Lumen. That has been sprinkled throughout in the first season finale as well, when she was talking to Mark, like, Mark, leave Lumen, please. There are a whole bunch of, like, bad people there and whatever. Milkchick, on the other hand, he got the racist treatment. I love that they brought this back again in this episode, by the way. Milkchick asking Harmony, how do you feel about when they gave you those paintings? And then she dodges the question immediately. She does not give an answer, which is an answer to Milchick, right? Like, Milchick's not dumb, right? If anything, Milchick is very smart. He knows how to cozy it up with the board, but he also knows how to make sure his workers, MDR, OND, everybody in the severed floor, he knows how to make them happy. More or less. And that has been what Milchick has been trying to do this whole season. Like, say what you will about Milchick, right? Because he's still vying for approval from the board, from the Egans. He wants that status, right? He wants that acknowledgement that he's doing well, he's doing good, that he is great. But he's also accepting a lot of the demands from MDR. Like, they want a funeral for Irving, he gives them a funeral. And it is a really, really important aspect of Milchick's character, right? This human aspect of him. Because in that moment when he was with Miss Huang, when he was trying to make the funeral happen, Miss Huang actually in a way criticizes Milchick, like, don't treat them as humans. Like, don't give them a funeral. It makes them human. It humanizes them. It makes me so curious to know Milchick's background out of all of this. Why does he choose to be with Lumen? And why is he choosing to, in some capacity, still help our characters? Don't get me wrong. He has ulterior motives, right? He's helping our characters so that they can still be happy working with the company to further his goal, and especially for Mark to complete Cold Harbor. But it does add this level of, again, this complexity to this character. As he says, I am not Harmony Cobell. Cobell would not do any of this, by the way. Cobell would just send them to the break room and literally break them for hours on end. And Milchick is the one who is in the break room breaking them. So to see Milchick just do a complete 180, it's almost kind of psychotic. But it's also just, I don't know, it's so complex. Milchick, hands down, probably one of my favorite characters in the show. His character is getting more and more complex by every episode. He's up there. And then especially by the end of the episode, right, where when they are, when the review happens, right, when they're reviewing Milchick's like progress and his management skills or whatever, and they're like, we got a lot of problems that we have to talk about. Like, how far until Milchick breaks? That's what I'm thinking. They're sort of setting up Milchick to be an ally, but not really. I don't know. Because the thing about Milchick... No. Actually, here's the thing. Here's the difference between Milchick and Cobell. Cobell, when she gets the short end of the stick from the board, when she gets fired from the board, or when the board pretty much berates her and tells her that she is doing a really poor job and whatever, eventually she just says, okay, you don't want me? Fine, I'll leave. Which she did. She left. We don't know what Cobell is doing right now. I kind of miss her, if I'm being honest, her presence. But it's very clear that she, right now, not on good terms with the board whatsoever, with Lumen. And Cobell has a higher chance of working with us than Mr. Milchick. I feel like Milchick has a higher tolerance. Like, he will accept all of the racism and whatever if it means he can still keep his job as the the overseer of the severed floor at Lumen. Like, he makes his distaste and his anger, frustration, his actual feelings towards Lumen known, especially to us, the audience, from his reaction to the paintings, to that whole conversation with Miss Wong. Like, he's making it known to us that he does not really like Lumen to begin with. But he keeps being there regardless. He's doubling down regardless. Lumen gives him the again, like those paintings, he accepts it. He knows that it is wrong, and it probably it's probably like repulsive for him, but he takes it regardless, because if it means that he keeps his job and he can still be there, then that's okay. At least that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with Milchick, which is why there is this this push and pull between Milchick the human, who is helping our characters, and Milchick the corporate bootlicker, who is helping our characters because he wants to get praise from the board. Like the reasonings behind his actions, his motivations, his ulterior motives, and whatever. But yeah, Milchick, really good character, great even. He's slowly climbing up the ladder on one of my favorite characters in fiction of all time. If I'm being honest here, don't get me wrong. All of the other characters in this show is great. I love Mark. I love Helly. Helly is up there as well. But Milchick, there's something about him that is just so captivating, and so he steals the scene every time. Just an incredible character. Speaking of incredible, the cinematography is incredible in this episode. I don't really need to say that again, but there's so many good shots in this episode that I find really, really good. That really speaks out to me specifically. Like there's that shot of Helly coming into to Mark in the toilet, and or in in the restroom, and you see like her real self, and then there's the reflection of her. I thought that was really well done. I mean, like the symbolism there, right? Mark is talking to two different Hellies, and he does not know, right, who he is actually talking to, and that's like the scary part. I mean, I've been fooled for like 4 episodes. If we really were watching the show with Helena this entire time, and we haven't really seen Helly since forever. I don't know. When did Helly actually come into play in this season, now that I think about it? Was the last episode where she was being, drowned by Irving? Was that actually the first time that Helly actually appeared to us, the audience? And the only reason we know that we are looking at Helly is because the camera shift in the elevator. Like that's the only like indication that we know that it is Helly. Solid episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's a very short review of Severance, at least for Severance standards. This is pretty short, I would say. I will see you all next time for the next episode of Severance. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.